Hey, good
Hey.
evening. How
Evening, Clay.
how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm kind of fired up in a good mood. Got my Bobcat put together today. So, by the way, any of you out there, if you decide you're going to be a design engineer for equipment, pull your head out of your caboose, go and work on that crap sometime, and then design it accordingly. Because I can tell you right now, that was not fun today.
Yeah, better ye than me for sure.
So hey, good evening, Eric. Glad to have you. How's
Yeah.
that steer tasting? I know that it made its last escape last week.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Kevin from Pennsylvania says you're catching me at chicken lockup time. I suppose, yeah, you guys are what, about 2 hours ahead of me, hour ahead of JD there. Paula, she says,
Yep.
get on, guys.
We're ready to, believe it.
And Dan, hey, good evening, Dan. Hey, we missed you last week. I didn't see you on there. Maybe I just
Yeah.
missed it.
Well,
But
you did miss it. We got a good show this week, I think, Clay. So I
we
think
do,
anybody
we do.
anybody who missed it now, hopefully they catch it later. I'm rewatching it or on the podcast. So
And we went a little early. We wanted to get through it because we had a lot of information. But as we always do, I'm gonna my little show and tell. Being we got a little subject coming up here, right directly. This is my Winchester 3030. It still is made in New Haven, Connecticut. I come across this one. I'm going to tell you that was not in my. I had no idea I was going to buy a gun that day. Got kid that was working for me. He was short cash. He told me he wanted $125 for it. I whipped out $125 and bought it. No dickering there.
yeah, for that,
I
man, you got a
mean,
skill on that.
it's not the fancy model and it's the newer one, but what the heck? It's still a Model 94 and it's still
Mhm.
USA made before Winchester went through all that. So yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm not as exciting as Clayton. Just got my AR, man. I don't know. It's my favorite gun. I always keep,
Favorite gun?
yeah, I got
Absolutely.
that one. Well, I don't know. Between that and my Ruger Ranch American.
I like Kevin. He says his AR comes with him.
Right on.
What's Eric got up here? Now he goes, I got compliments on my guns and a 701 hat down here in Rapid. Hey, that is awesome. As long as you
Awesome.
mentioned that, then we're going to pull that up right there. There it is. Eric's got
Man,
his
a lot
guns
of
and
people
701.
like that. A lot of people like that cap, man. It's going to be.
So I checked my tracking, and that particular style hat, it's close to the same thing. Should be here possibly by the end of the week, and then we can get the rest of those patches and things
Awesome.
on there. So yeah, sounds great.
Awesome. Yeah. So speaking of merch, got our koozies back here, right, Clay? I got me using mine tonight, right here.
There
There's
they
Clay's
are.
got
There's
some
the whole
better
box.
pick. North Country Designs. Thank you for making us some great product there and getting them done quick. Unfortunately, Clay and I don't have the product page up yet. The gal was supposed to help us. That fell through, so I'm working on it again. I mean, it's getting frustrating. Clay and I want it up faster than.
I think talk to Neil like you talked, and let's just get her done.
Yep, I got this other gal I want to talk to. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow.
Yep.
But anyway, we're not going to stick on that too much. Yeah, thank you, North Country Designs. Check them out on Facebook. They do great work. They do all kinds of stuff: caps, koozies, mugs, and pretty much anything you want. Check it out. It's the wife of one of our listeners, Waylon Turnus. It's his wife. Oh, it's good. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. You did great work. It's awesome.
Hey, Braden's with us. Hey, Braden, glad to have you on. We missed you last week. He's coming out to help me work calves. I guess we're going to work calves this weekend. We changed our plan. So Eric and his family were going to help us as well, but they can't make it because, well, he's gone and then he's on call. So that's just the way it goes, but we got to get him done.
Oh, there's Waylon right there. Hey, Waylon, we were just talking about your wife's koozies. She did great. They're awesome.
Great job. All right, let's get her started here.
Yep, get her done, Clay, and
we'll start each and every show with the most important amendment in the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that just gets more important every single day.
So we're going to tie that right in with our poll we had last week. It was the first poll we ever did. The question was, do you feel the North Dakota State Legislature still has your back on the Second Amendment? We had 55 total votes, 1 yes, 5 unsure, and 49 no. So
pretty resounding, wasn't
it? State legislature, at least our listeners and people who check out our page, is not too happy with you. So this week, Clay, what's the poll question this week?
Well, here it is right now. The new poll, go over to our Facebook page. Should North Dakota have an official state firearm? We'll take the results and discuss them next week on the live stream. We'll probably hit on it on Monday, too, where it's at.
Yeah, we'll let you know, Jay,
in the closer to. Yep. But yeah, right there, you can see it right now. I don't know, what was there, about 30 votes right now?
Yeah, over 30, I think. I put it up yesterday afternoon, and it's almost right at the top of our page before you start scrolling through our timeline there. Just click on it, and it's 3 simple answers: yes, no, or irrelevant. Right now, yes is kicking ass. So
right now, 82% said yes, 5% no, 13% irrelevant. I think that was like 6 votes, which that's an interesting no stance, whatever. I mean, interesting. I really didn't think we'd have that many so far.
I didn't either, actually, Clay. I mean, I will agree it probably is irrelevant, but I want a state gun. I mean, it sends a message to people that we're a gun friendly state, and if you don't like it, move somewhere that doesn't like guns. So we're going to tie right in with that, Clayton. I want you to lead this one off.
Well, I didn't realize it until you made me aware of it, that we actually had a Senate continuing resolution on this. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Nobody knew, actually. No. I actually texted the idea that Clay and I were talking about a state gun to my senator here in District 35, Sean Cleary, and he sent it back to me that, oh yeah, we just did that. And I mentioned in the message to him that I thought we could do it, tie it in with Teddy Roosevelt and a lever gun. And he goes, yeah, that's what it was. And he goes, it passed the Senate and the House voted it down. And there's a reason for that, Clayton.
There is. So I got to looking into this. So I thought, yeah, you know what? I mean, he sent us that and then kind of told you how it got shot down in the House. Well, I went and checked it out. So it was Senate Continuing Resolution 4010. And on that, it passed on a voice vote. They didn't even take a solid vote on it. They didn't need one. It was so overwhelmingly yes in the Senate. From there, it went over to the House. And here's where the problem starts. Everything's got to be political anymore. And,
and this was big time.
What they chose, and they actually chose a specific model, the Model 1876, which that wouldn't have been mine. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. It passed the House. All right, it's passed the Senate, went to the House.
Yeah, why don't you say you introduce the legislation and everything first?
Yeah, the supporters of that model gun was a favorite, Teddy Roosevelt. I'm trying to think here. Who was it that actually brought it?
Senator Yana Myrdal from Edinburgh stated that the Winchester Model 1876 is a powerful firearm with great stopping capabilities, and its in-the-field reliability was well respected by frontiersmen. The resolution also noted that the gun was a favorite of former President Teddy Roosevelt.
Absolutely.
And famous ex-North Dakotan.
And basically, Teddy was, in that period of time, you got to remember, he was an Easterner with a lot of socialite accolades. He had wealth. The Winchester would not have been the choice for most people. It would have been those high-end side-by-side shotguns.
Some English thing,
yeah. But he really loved the Winchester, and he really got a lot of respect when he went over to San Juan. That's where he really garnered the most respect, and he really became a fan. But so this resolution comes out of the Senate, goes over to the House Political Subcommittee, and they recommended a 9-5 pass vote. They recommended a do pass on a 9-5 vote. And the supporters said that the gun was a favorite.
9-5. That's still too close for my flavor. But go ahead, Clay. I'm sorry.
I'm guessing there were Democrats, and all 5 of them probably. Who knows? But anyway, so we got James Davis or Jamie. Is that
Jamie? Yep. Yeah. Jayme
Davis of Rolette, Democrat, and she's an Indian as well. She gave an emotional argument that the bill should not be passed. She said that told the House that the gun was used to kill buffalo, and that ain't, they're just kind of, I'll put it to you this way. They didn't really quote this correctly in the article. So me being me, I went on to the actual video of the testimony. And of course she starts crying. Oh my God, the gun killed all these buffalo. And it was horrible. And Teddy Roosevelt, you should have heard this testimony. No. It was insane. If you got to cry to make your point, you probably don't have much of a point. Well, me being who I am, I went to see exactly what Teddy Roosevelt brought with him. And let's get something really straight. Yes, there were buffalo here. You and I were just talking about this, pre-show. But they did not have the herds happening out here. Did they kill buffalo? Probably, along with however many guns. I would imagine the Sharps, which we're going to talk about right directly here, killed more buffalo. So I'm going to bring this up. For you, those on the podcast can't see it. And I referenced the top paragraph because in 1883, Roosevelt, he wanted to come on out here and hit the Wild West. And he came out to the Dakota Badlands along the Little Missouri. We all know this story. had his Winchesters. They caught the attention of everyone who saw them, marveled. They were I can't even talk. They were fancy. I'm not even going to try to say that word. in nature of the engraving and checkering. William Dance, who remembered meeting Roosevelt, was so impressed by one of the Winchesters that he mistook it for the exceedingly rare 1 of 1,000 models, which he never did own. I don't know if anyone knows that. Roosevelt never did have one.
Mm-hmm.
To those who had grown up on the plains, Roosevelt was the epitome of the Eastern dude. And that's what they called. Remember, they were the dudes. They were called dudes.
Yep.
Dressed in fringed and embroidered shirt and buckskin pants with a wide brim boss of the plains Stetson, he looked the part of the hapless greenhorn that every time novelist depicted. So, but I highlighted what's under it.
This is good right here.
Though his trip diary mentions nothing, did you hear that? Nothing.
Nothing
of his 2 deluxe Winchesters in his personal inventory, he did manage, this is Teddy Roosevelt, in 16 days to bag 1 bison. That's right, 1. A blacktail buck.
She claimed he was eliminating all of them in this rifle.
Yeah, he just taking them all and just killing them all, hurting the Indian tribes and everything else. Anyway, 16 days to bag 1 bison, a black-tailed buck, which we probably figured was a mule deer, like you were talking earlier. Assorted rabbits, grouse, teal, and other wildlife, all with the Sharps 1874 45 caliber
sporting rifle.
Sporting rifle. And he also carried a 10 gauge, which that's very well known that he carried a 10 gauge double barreled shotgun. If you ever want to see that, it used to be housed at the National Firearms Museum out in Fairfax, Virginia at NRA headquarters. I'm pretty sure they still have it. It was on loan at the time, but so sometimes they lose those guns, but it was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been gifted that from his brother. He was so impressed with his guide, Joe Ferris, and the territory that he traveled in, that he promptly purchased a sizable ranch and made Ferris the foreman along with fellow guide William Merrifield. You guys know the rest of that story out by Medora. But I wanted to prove that she's a liar. Jamie Davis, you're a liar. Teddy Roosevelt didn't go kill a ton of buffalo with his Winchester. He didn't do it. Didn't happen. This is right out of his diary. And I thought that was very interesting.
So, she also, she says hunters used the rifle to kill buffaloes, robbed indigenous residents of their livelihood, and almost wiped out the native nations. I'll tell you what, natives put it to pretty good use, Slaughter and Custer and his boys too, but you don't see me wanting to ban it. I couldn't care less. What's that thing they have down on Standing Rock? They have a big party every year for the Indians who whooped Custer's ass. I don't have one single problem with it. You guys kicked his ass. It's great. You had a great battle there and you won it. I'm not going to complain. If you want to, hey, you can't make the lever action the state gun because you murdered a bunch of white people with it in the battle. And furthermore, natives use it on each other to take other tribes out when they had the upper hand with weaponry. So I don't get where this gal's coming up with this. And these people fell for it in the House.
They did.
And stand up to stuff. This is PC nonsense, people.
It is.
And as far as slaughtering all the buffalo, well, there's a book out there called Wooden Leg, I Fought Custer. And the guy befriended an army surgeon. The army surgeon wrote a book, firsthand account from this guy. They ran buffalo off cliffs, just hundreds of them, just ran them right off the cliff. And the ones they didn't eat, they just left there. And he said they would fire their arrows indiscriminately into these herds of buffalo. And I asked him, well, what about the ones you hit and didn't eat? No, we didn't care. We just let them go. They probably went and died. I mean, so now we can't even put bows up on the pedestal now because maybe they slaughtered a bunch of buffalo. This is ridiculous.
It is.
This is absolute ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
And they fell for it. I just can't believe it. I'd actually want to see I wish I could see the voting record on this, Clay. Well, this is ridiculous.
Funny you say that.
Okay.
Give me a minute while you're saying that.
Okay, so I'll go on a little mother thing here.
I have it right here. Can you see
Mary Schneider, Democrat, Fargo, noted that North Dakota has gone more than 100 years without naming an official state gun. She said there was no need to upset Native American residents by cementing the weapon as a symbol of the state. This is probably kind of the same thing. I'll bet you any money if we asked the majority of indigenous people in North Dakota, they wouldn't care less. They'd like it. This is like the UND thing. I bet you 100%, except they probably could care even less about this gun thing. That'd be my
guess. And let's face it, as you stated, the Winchester lever action is intertwined not just with, quote, white people, European descendants. It's intertwined in the history of this country going since it came about.
Clayton, look
I mean,
at
come on.
paintings. Look at paintings from the 1800s.
Yes.
Indian warriors are holding up these. They loved it. In fact, Wooden Leg's book, he said they were actually prized possessions. They loved those things. They loved the lever
absolutely.
actions.
So here's the roll call vote, guys. This is it right here.
Okay.
The yeas.
This is it. Okay.
Were Ball, Bello, Belts, Christensen, Fisher, Grunich, I think I pronounced that right, Hoddlestad, Hawk, Heilman, Henderson, thank you, Donna, Dawson, Hawley, Carls, Kiefert,
okay. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it.
Crete, LaFleur, Longmer, Marshall, Meyer, Monson, Machenbacher, Nathy, Porter, Picard, thank you, Picard. I know Brandon very well. Rios, Rower, thank you, Karen. So both of my reps voted yes. Ruby, then D. Ruby, M. Schatz, Steiner, Timmons, Tolman, Tevitt, and Van Winkle. Those were your yays.
Okay, well, you heard me say something there when you were calling names off. Here it is again. District 35, Bob Martinson. This guy, Bob's a super nice guy. I can talk to Bob. He's awesome. But this guy is voting. Oh, man, I'm trying not to say it. The guy is voting like a freaking Democrat. Bob, what the hell's going on here? I mean, come on, dude.
Lose his seat.
Yeah,
well, I'm going to read off
he does need to lose his seat. This is freaking asinine. I like Bob. Like I said, he's a great guy. Nothing bad personally to say about him, but him as our representative in District 35, put a D behind your name if you're going to run again. This is ridiculous, Bob. This is freaking ridiculous.
And I will say this, guys, and I have this displayed, of course, live tonight, but for everybody that's listening in, I am going to read off the nays. The nays are, and these are the 59 nays. Anderson, B. Anderson, D. Anderson, K. Bosch, Boschi, Brandenburg, Christie, Conme, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
There you go. The Kane.
That's Davis. 2 different names, not Corey.
Sounds good, though. Dobrovich, Doctor, Dyke, Finley DeVille, Freilich, Hagert, Hansen, Headland. You know, what the hell's wrong with him lately?
Oh, there's Pat Heinert again, too. Go figure that.
And Pat Heinert. And I'm going to talk to Jeff about this. Hoverson.
Why don't you switch parties, too, Pat?
You know, I know Jeff pretty well, and I'm going to try to find out why he voted nay on this. Usually, Jeff is a very conservative guy. Ista, Johnson, Jade Jonas, Casper, Kempenick, Clemens, go figure Clemens, Lauser, go figure him, God. Martinson, McLeod, Mitzcog, Mock, Murphy, Nelson, Novak, there we go.
Yeah, up there in District
Conservative.
Yeah, Anna Novak up there, up in coal country.
O'Brien, Olson, J. Olson, S. Osterline, and Pyle, Richter, Roars, Jones, big shocker there.
Yeah.
Sanford again, Santrum again. I mean, he's your who's who of commies. Schauer, Schneider, Scholbinger, Schreiber, Beck, Stepman, Stryden, Swiatek, Thomas, Vedder. What are these names?
Vegasa. I think she's from Fargo.
Oh,
I'm not saying I'm saying that name seems like it's from Fargo to me.
Right. Wagner, that doesn't surprise me. Wari, Weiss, and Speaker Johnson.
Oh, God.
You're Speaker of the House, guys.
Clay, honest to God, this isn't even it shouldn't even be a left and right thing. This is just somebody who's buckling to the woke bullshit is what it is.
Absolutely, I agree.
This is bullshit.
It shouldn't have been this shouldn't have even been close.
No.
And I mean, the Senate's harder than the House, Jenna. It was a voice vote and pass. Didn't even need a roll call.
So, Clay, 9 states have a state gun. I got to ask you a question after I say this. Alaska, Arizona, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. Are there Indian tribes in those states?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a freaking break. Give me a freaking break, man.
You see what Doug... Just to throw in a little humor here, guys. No Indians or bison were killed with a bear at 50. Maybe that's a shoe-in for the state. And, you know, the reason I put
not even any white guys.
I actually, if I would have been, I'll be honest, I wasn't following. I've been busy calving. This happened in March, it looked like. And I can tell you right now, if I'd have known, I would have been in one of my questions to her, and I would have flat out asked her in testimony. So Is it the gun that killed the buffalo and the Indians, or are you just against having a state gun, no matter what gun it is? Otherwise, I would have probably.
She
said
is, Clay,
like
because she
50.
said my opposition is not about guns in general.
Yep.
It's about this gun. That I guarantee that's 100% Bravo Sierra. Because if I look up what her NRA grade was, I'll bet you $100, Clayton, it's an F.
Be an F. It's going to be an F.
I'll bet you. So she also says the way I feel about having such a gun celebrated can only be shared by asking you to imagine us voting on celebrating something that wipes out your livelihood or a weapon to kill your family. So going by that logic, Clayton, natives shouldn't celebrate bow hunting, right? Because they killed each other with it.
Killed each other,
right?
Killed their buffalo with them.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, like I just told you at Woodland Lakes, so just indiscriminately blasted barrages of arrows into herds of buffalo and just took a few out.
And don't get me wrong here, guys. I have no issue with Indian people. I got a real issue, though. When
you do.
Like
I just say that's what they think right now, that you and me are both freaking racist.
We're just racist and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what pisses me off more is that they always use the race card themselves to try and
that's what this is, basically.
Like absolutely. They
that's
played the race card. She played on her emotion. I mean, listen to the testimony, guys. It's all on there. She cried. I mean, she gets up and cries, for Christ's sakes. I'm sorry, but I can tell you right now, no matter what I've been on, whatever boards I've served on, whatever councils I've served on, when they get up and start crying in front of me, I got in trouble with one of them because I started laughing at the person who was doing it in front of me. She's like, "Oh, you don't even take this serious." You're right, I don't. You're crying. You're letting your emotions overrun your brain and your mouth.
And this is not an emotional issue. I'm sorry. There's no way this is even close to being an emotional issue.
I'd like to know what Winchester lever action killed her family.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Indians kicked Custer's ass with lever actions. They loved it.
Yeah. I mean, should we go back in history and maybe, just maybe, anybody that was killed by an Indian tribe with lever actions or bows, maybe they should pay reparations to the white descendants of them people, huh? That's what they always say. Well, let's turn this table on them.
Yeah.
Especially up there. I think
Clayton, I can tell you this: the last form of acceptable racism against the Christian right-wing white man that's the last form of acceptable.
That's the last form, isn't it?
Of acceptable, yeah. Well, Kevin puts on there, find arrowheads all over Pennsylvania. Kevin, we found them out on our ranch northwest of Golden Valley too. Before there's actually, my dad has a book. He's looking for it. Somebody wrote a book. There was a huge battle there between Indian tribes. Yeah, that's right. They weren't all sitting around being buddies with each other. They were killing each other for the land and the resources on it, just like we did. Except for one thing, Clayton, it turned out we had the numbers and technology, and it worked better for us. So now we're the assholes for it.
And not only, and that's how it always
goes. It can never be let go.
The victors in any battle generally have to do with their technological advances in their weaponry and tactics and pure numbers.
Pure numbers. That's the way what Germany's.
I mean, it's a numbers game in a lot of ways. If you've ever taken any kind of strategic classes in military battle, which I have done that for fun, I can tell you right now, it's a numbers game like anything else. And of course, you got to have the soul and the heart of your people doing it. But that's a whole nother part of it. But as far as arrowheads, I see Kevin says, we find arrowheads all over Pennsylvania. We used to find them all over my grandpa's ranch there south of Keldron. Now, over the years, people have picked them up. So, all across that land. But there was evidently a ton of Indian tribes in this area. There truly was, because we found them on our own place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We found that many, Clay, and you found them there. Mm-hmm. How many arrowhead? They weren't from people just hunting. You know why all the arrowheads are around? Because there was freaking battles there. That's why.
Battles.
They didn't just shoot. They were shooting into big herds of buffalo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they'd run them off the cliffs. Like Eric said, we got buffalo jumps out at Shade Hill. He's right. There's tons of them. There's some over there by White Butte. There's a lot of buffalo jumps around here. And that's what they did. That was their food. That was their, they did. They used a lot of the buffalo.
And I don't blame them for it. I don't sit here and go, wow, you just indiscriminately murdered them.
No. I do not like what happened in history when the Easterners wanted, basically coats. And they came out and slaughtered buffalo for their coats, for their hides to make freaking hats and coats. Mm-hmm. And then leave it lay. That was bullshit. But you know what? There was a different time then. You wouldn't see that happen anymore. But you can't blame us. We didn't do it.
Right. Well, yeah, you can, Clay, because we did. We're to blame for every damn thing.
Oh, absolutely. So anyway,
we're gonna get out of that. We'll
move on. It burned it, and I can tell you right now, guns in a 710, boys, in 2 years. in 2025, we're bringing a bill, and
Yeah.
I've already got a guy. You've got a guy. We're going to be bringing a bill, and we're going to be pumping it, and we're going to want everybody's support. We need to show up. We need a state firearm. This is North Dakota, for
absolutely
sakes. So
it's, hey guys, so like we'll see what the poll says, but even if the irrelevance get a little higher than they are, you know what? Like I told Clay, it probably is irrelevant, but you need a state gun just to send a message that our state is pro Second Amendment. We're not afraid to have a gun, a state gun.
Absolutely.
You know? Come on now. I mean, I'll tell you what, if North Dakota bow hunters wants to have a state bow, I'll even get on board with that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we got a state bird. What's more irrelevant than that? And it's a metal lark.
And we got a lot of bow hunters here. As long as I think that crossbow.
At least things like South Dakota. South Dakota state bird is a pheasant. It wasn't even native to the damn state.
yeah. Chinese bird. Well, Clay, should we do our first commercial here?
I was just going to say, we better take
we're going to hit
profit time out. Here we go.
We'll come back. We're going to talk about gun activists manipulating CDC data for child deaths. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
All right. Yeah. Thanks to Lauer Auto and Doug and the boys down there. I can tell you what, now's the time. Get it in there, get everything checked, get your oil done. And I think you just had your tires rotated.
I did. I had oil change and tire rotation. Yeah. You bet.
This is the time to do it. A long winter was really tough on stuff, and now it's time to get everything back up to ship shape. And don't forget about them ACs, guys. The air conditioners it won't be long, and it's going to be running apart.
For sure. When it gets to 70 now, it feels like it's 90 already. So, because the guy's not used to that. But I got a text from Brian. Brian, I sent you one back. Yeah, I can meet your wife in town whenever she gets here, and then he wants some swag. You bet. We'll get it done, buddy. So anytime after 9, give her my number. Yeah,
guys, here are the gray caps. So I just sent most of the gray caps I had up to Jamie. He should have them tomorrow, maybe Friday, but. I mean, it's pretty much overnight from here. We'll just see how long it sits in the sorting facility. Senate priority. So
yeah.
And then I sent some of the teal ones with the gray. I got guns in 701. Will McCall made these for us. And then, of course, I sent some of the patches. So here are the 3 types of patches. You've got a brown with black writing. You've got a kind of a dark black with gold, I guess it is. And then you've got a black or dark brown. And it actually... I think that's silver on there if I remember. So anyway, he has those. If you're interested, get a hold of Jamie. You got his text. If you don't, you can email him at jd@gunsinthe701.com. And I think you pretty much check the messages too on our Facebook page, don't you?
Yeah.
So let them know. Hats are $30, guys. So if you want one, I mean,
I do have some hats. I got a dozen other hats. They're kind of tan with the like the jungle camo in the front and on the bill. We're gonna get the leather patches sewed on there. That might be another week or 2 for those, but yeah, that's gonna be an option too. One of those babies is mine, and I think the guy is doing it. I can't remember his name. He's a friend of a friend, but he's jacked up. He wants one of them caps. I said, "Oh, you get that on, you got yourself a cap." So
there you go.
All right, Clayton.
I know Leighton wore his gray one to school today, so that was good.
Sweet. Love it.
All righty. So why don't you take us into this next segment?
Yeah. So like I said before the break there, another year brings another opportunity for gun control activists. News. And their media lackeys to manipulate CDC fatality injury data. So we've all been hearing this. Sorry, I'm looking at a text message. Sorry. Okay. We've all been hearing this from President Biden and his regime. Hey, guns, a #1 killer, for God's sake. enough. We got to do something. So, and we kind of touched on this before, Clay. I don't know if it was on here or another show, but here, this kind of breaks it down a little better. What they do, first thing they do is they acquire statistics on firearm-related deaths among children ages 1 to 14, which I would agree, and you would too, Clay, right? Those are children. Yep. Okay. Step 2, combine that relatively low number with the far greater number of firearm-related deaths involving juveniles and young adults ages 15 to 19, or even in a lot of cases, they'll go up to 24. Hey, your kid, you're 25, you can go on your parents' insurance.
I'll say, yeah.
Step 3, present the resulting data. What do you
John Dr. Biden sucks. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Nice.
Yeah. So present the resulting data as the shocking number of, quote, children ages 1 to 24 who are subjected to, quote, gun violence each day, week, month, year. Step 4, use the disingenuous statistic to advocate for predetermined gun control policies. And further down, we're going to break this down even further because there's only one actual part on their what they use that's actually true, right, Clayton?
Yep. I know. I think I've told you this before. I took stats when I was in college. I actually took a college course when I was in high school. I don't believe any stat anymore because you can manipulate it just like they did here to get the intended result that you want.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll go down a little further here. They got a March 29, 2023 is a CNN title article. Children and teens are more likely to die by guns than anything else. Not exactly.
Not really.
So going into the article, children and teens, 0 to 12, for this age group, firearm-related injuries are not the leading cause of death and are not higher than motor vehicles. The number of motor vehicle deaths in this age group is more than double that of firearm-related deaths, okay?
Wow, we should ban having kids in a vehicle.
The number of motor vehicle deaths in the 0 to 14 age group is 55% higher than firearm-related deaths, 0 to 14. Okay, now where I told you they're right about something, it's coming up here. It actually goes up to 16. When examining those 0 to 16 motor vehicle deaths, still higher than firearm. Now, when you get to 15 to 19, which Clayton, remember just a recent shooting in Alabama, right?
Yeah,
the 3 shooters were all like 15, 16, right?
They're all preteen to teen,
right? But they're going to use that as gun deaths, right?
Right. Yep.
Like children, they're not children when they do crap like that. No. Anyway, so it shifts for those ages 15 to 19. Over 80% of the firearm-related deaths, related deaths that occur is in the 0 to 19 age group. And 19 is not a kid to me. They're even adding in an extra year. 18 is you're an adult after you're 18. You got to register with Selective Services. You can be drafted. You can die for your country. You can buy cigarettes. There's all kinds of stuff you can do when you're 18, right?
As far as I'm concerned, anyone that's 16 to 18, 19 years old, they are young adults. As far as I'm concerned, 19-year-olds are adults. They're at 18, you're an adult.
You might be an immature one, but you're still an adult.
Exactly. 16 to 18 is definitely a young adult. I mean, not all are created equal that way, but most 16 to 18-year-olds are young adults by this time.
Yeah. So, the 15 to 19 age group is far more engaged in the type of street crime that can give rise to firearm-related violence, like I just said, the thing in Alabama, right? And that many jurisdictions have decided to address in a more lenient manner in recent years. Right.
Yep.
Right. The Democrat and most of these, an overwhelming majority of gun violence is in Democrat-controlled big cities.
In all of them. If you look at the Democrat-controlled cities, that's where the most gun crime is taking place.
Yep.
And they're not gun violence because the gun committed nothing. It didn't even commit the crime.
Right.
Just crime committed with firearms is taking place in some of the most Democrat cities with the most Democrat utopia gun laws on the books.
Yep. It's not getting better,
No.
It's not getting better. It's getting worse. and that's one of the big problems we're having in this country is the way crime is treated. And unfortunately, the Democrats and George Soros, people get sick of hearing his name, but the guy's got billions and he gets people elected, and then they put in this leftist agenda, and they're so easy on crime.
Well, look at Tennessee and look at Nashville. What's Nashville controlled by? Democrats.
Yeah, big Dem city.
And they have defunded their police. I mean, they've cut their budget. They don't want to enforce laws, but yet they want to take your guns. That they want to do, but they don't.
Well, that's a problem, Clay.
Laws. That's always the problem.
Yeah, when we're done discussing this, we're going to get into a lot of that concerning what Rob and Ed has been saying. But yeah, let's get some comments here, Clay.
Well, Kevin, he goes, kids are raised wrong in Democrat cities. Well,
yeah,
you're right. And how many times have I said this on the show, Jamie? When you get into them urban settings, and we're talking cities, I mean, people think they know what cities are, but unless you've traveled to places like Philadelphia,
I've only been to a few,
DC,
so I hate big cities. I go to Minneapolis, my skin crawls. I can't stand that big ass place.
In Minneapolis is bad enough, but in those particular settings, you have a very high percentage of single parent homes, and I'm telling you right now, there's
no
actually
role models.
Yeah, no role models, and so many times you got a lot of boys, young men, being raised by their mothers. And I'm sorry, I know they don't want to hear it, but you are not complete. You need to have that male role model, that male figure, the two-parent home in your house, raising your boys especially. They need to have that guidance. They need to have that discipline. I'm pretty hard on my two boys when I need to be. But I tell you what, the compliments I get all the time is, well, you got such well-behaved kids. Well, there's a reason, because they know it's their ass if they are.
I was going to say, some people don't like to hear it, but you got to put foot to ass sometimes.
That's right.
That's just a lot. That's the truth. And I mean, just like the first story we talked about, Clay, we were telling the truth. The truth pisses people off and makes them mad and makes them hate. But guess what? The truth has pissed me off before too.
Yep.
But it's still the damn truth. And if you're going to make lies up and piss and be mad at somebody for the truth, that's your own damn problem. I don't like it. I'm sure people hate me I know people hate me for telling the truth about shit. But
Kevin brings up, I'm going to go through a few comments there.
Yeah,
Kevin, he says, it's not country kids shooting things up. That's true. You don't hear about that really going on around here. And if it does happen out here, it ain't someone usually raised here. It's someone that moved into this area from a leftist area.
Right. And we've said it before, Clay. Most of these mass shooters, they just go and buy their freaking guns a week earlier, and guess what? Then they go do the shooting. They're not even. And the guy in Kentucky went and bought it because he wanted to do it with an AR to push a narrative, which we kind of went over last week. But you kind of froze up there, Clayton. You still with me?
I lost you there. That's okay.
I can see Clay's mouth moving, but I don't hear him. So. Philadelphia.
All right, am I back?
You're back now. Yeah,
I don't know I'm showing yellow bars all of a sudden.
Look, Kevin's comment here. Philadelphia he's got a little turd emoji, which means shithole. Yep. Remember that, Kevin? When Trump said that, the big deal was about he calling these countries assholes. Quick story: on my honeymoon, my wife and I went to Jamaica. I commented to a guy I got friendly there with. Ricardo McKenzie was his name. Freaking awesome dude. I said, man, that's really nice here. You know what his comment to me was, Clay? He said, Jamie boy, these resorts nice, but you get outside these resorts, this country, it's a shithole, man. That was from a Jamaican who lived in Jamaica, and when they blasted Trump like he was some racist, and a bunch of the other Jamaicans there agreed with him, right?
It's like that in all these resorts. My parents went down to Caicos, Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The blind guy went there. And blind guy's actually in Cancun right now.
Is he okay? Well, I can tell you this: when they were there,
don't go to his house. Somebody's there with a gun watching it. So I don't recommend that.
The people there said, if you're going to go out and beyond the resort, be very careful, or take someone with you, because it's not like that out here. You'll get probably mugged or robbed or something else. And it's the resorts are very well protected and secured. By what? Probably a good armed guard or 10.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. The guy at the front gate there, I think he had like kind of a AK knockoff looking thing. Right. I kind of talked to him about it. But
so Gene's got one here. He got says the conspiracy theory, that's the plan. Let violent criminals run wild to wreak havoc and chaos. Then you need the government to save you. And
I'm
that's
on
always,
board with that, Gene. I
they've
don't think
been
that's a
doing it for
conspiracy
decades.
theory. That's part of their plan, baby, right
You
there.
know,
You bet it is.
create a problem and then the government can come fix it, and you'll bow down to them.
You're crazy. That's not a plan.
So here's Eric. So Eric's down in Rapid for classes right now. Because the amount of kids just wandering around at night here in Rapid is sad. Kids 8 years old out walking around by themselves. Where the heck are the parents? And that's just it. Now, yeah, did we do stuff like that in our little town? Yeah, maybe not at 8 years old, but we ran around town.
Yeah, I had to be in. I was 8, man. You had to be in by dark. It wasn't.
And in Lemon, the fire whistle blew at like 9 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah, that's right. They did that in Holiday too.
Yeah, and if you weren't home, I mean,
whistle,
your
man.
ass was in trouble. And I wasn't worried about police in curfew. I was worried about what my dad would do when I got home.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You didn't show up late. Sean's got on here. He goes, yeah, he says, we knew how to whoop ass and kick it. That's right.
You know, we said that before. Been on all three. Win, lose, and draw. And, I'm not ashamed to say I've tucked my tail between my legs because I knew an ass whooping was coming. So I've been on all ends of that spectrum, man.
Absolutely. So, I know, these stats, when you look at them, it's just like anything else. They say, kid, that's the number one killer of kids is firearms. Well, no, it's not, because they're lumping adults in there, young adults, young adolescents, teenagers. I mean, to me, that's are they kids? Yes, but they're not children. Children are, I don't know. I guess I look at it different. And you know why it's so high on the motor vehicle thing? When do they start driving? Gee, around here it's 14 to 16. At 16 in some states, and then they have their licenses. And why do you think your insurance is so high for that age group? They have more accidents because they got absolutely very little experience.
All right,
I can tell you right now that the younger people that live in the rural areas have way more experience, not on just driving, therefore they're better at it, also handling firearms. That's why they don't go around killing people.
Right.
They live probably in a stable home, and they've been taught the correct ways, and they've had their butts whooped by their parents for doing the wrong thing. That's why you don't see this happening around here.
Well, you grow up to respect firearms and know what they are, and not a tool of mass destruction, what these brain dead weirdos think. But yet, if you want to teach firearm safety and instruction in schools, Democrats hate that. The party that's always preaching safety, safety, safety. But when you want to do it, want nothing to do with it. So should we do let's do a triple here, Clayton?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's thank our three sponsors. Go for it.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Joe Robinette Biden has released his video, and Clay and I are going to break it down, some of the absolute ridiculous, phony, disingenuous BS that was in there. So, all right, here we go. If you got to go grab a beer, turn the volume up on your computer so you can still hear the message from our sponsors, please. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads, so now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lowry you heard the sponsored Guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
Guns in the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com.
it's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
All right, guys, welcome
sir.
back. And yes, we do appreciate our sponsors. We couldn't do it here without them. Lauer Auto Repair. Get down there on South Washington and make an appointment. Get everything checked out. The blind guy of North Dakota. Now's a good time, guys. Summer's here. Going to need some blinds. Keep that house a little cooler. And, of course, Mandan Sporting Goods. And, you know, I love the video. I still love the video you did, Jamie, when you went through the walkthrough. He's got a ton of stuff in there.
Yeah, he does. Buddy of mine, hey, listener to the show, hunted with us. A friend of mine, pontoon with him, big R. He went over there and he actually bought I think it was a Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creed from Brandon. So.
Well, I know one thing. We're going to make this happen. I know that, and by the way, we want to mention, and I think Jamie did a video on this. If you go into if you go into Mandan Sporting Goods, and have you heard it on Guns in the 701, they'll give you 10% off.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. I tell you what, that's a heck of a good deal, especially depending on what you're buying. So
yeah,
stop in there, and very easy to find right there on Main Street.
Absolutely.
We're going to make this happen, though. He said we can use the range. We are going to, I'm about done calving. We got to make this happen and get up there and do a day at Mandan Sporting Goods and have people come in and have some fun.
Well, we're gonna shoot some full autos in the basement range. So
anyway, be on the lookout for that.
Get alive doing that. That should be fun.
Get us kicked off.
All right, Clay. So President Biden just announced his re-election, and he had. I'm glad you didn't get the video because that scuzzy thing's like 3 minutes long. Listen to that whispering freak. Hey, man, I love America and freedoms. And
I watched that video because I needed to watch it so we could talk about it. It's horrible. And yes, I was not going to give that any kind of free airplay here tonight.
Yeah, so I broke. All right, I'll go. I got a list of things here we can break down.
Keith, Biden is going to finish the job. Yeah, he's going to kill America as we know. That's the job he wants to finish.
I hope he doesn't get the opportunity, Keith. It's brutal.
It's like Rush Limbaugh said when Obama got elected. He goes, I hope he fails. I do too. I hope Biden fails.
Yeah.
So far, he's been unfortunate.
Well, I hope he doesn't even get a chance to and he gets voted out. So
yes,
there's so many people that don't pay attention to shit.
We will show his ugly mug here, though. This article is from.
That's why I'm running for re-election.
Never Trump campaign for 2024, and it was. I mean, I just I like video here though.
Here, I got a. yeah, that's the meme I made up and put on our Facebook page. I actually snapped a picture of him. I was home for lunch and I snapped a picture of him on Newsmax and I was watching. So
he's got a picture of Biden with his fists in the air,
screaming mad as hell.
I want their damn guns.
Yeah. So if you're listening on the podcast, go on our Facebook page. It's on
there. All
right. I got a kick. So. One of the things I wrote down, I just kind of scribbled down about 10 things here he said in this stupid video, his whispering, creepy video. His fight for democracy first, right there, Clayton. Do we live in a democracy? Is that what America is, a democracy?
And you know how I get frustrated all the time.
Yep.
This is not a democracy. It's never been a democracy, nor do you want it to be a democracy. This is a constitutional representative republic. We elect people to represent us and go to Congress.
Right.
They're supposed to listen.
Their main jobs to represent anything if it's constitutional or not constitutional.
Right. And then they're supposed to abide by the Constitution, and then the three branches are supposed to be checks and balances with themselves. But that's failing. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next one. We're gonna break these down, Clayton. Right?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the next thing he goes on, He's running again to protect our rights. Mega extremists are fighting against freedoms, banning books, telling people who they can and can't love, making it more difficult to vote. All right, so let's number one, protect our rights. This guy is the biggest gun banning lowlife scumbag that's ever been president. You're in there to take away rights, Joe. Mr. President.
Absolutely. Hey, Leon, absolutely. This ain't no stinking
Hey,
democracy.
all right. Leon, you coming to town tomorrow, man. You said me and you were going out for some whiskeys. It's tomorrow or Friday. Let me know. And guy's been texting me. He wants a couple of your caps.
And spoiler, we're going to get him on, guys. Leon's going to be on with us on one of these shows. We just got to make it all happen. If my internet's as reliable as it was tonight, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, we'll hook him up with mine. Yeah, exactly. Leon, the Republic. They came out of the meeting, or what were they doing? Writing, was it the bill? Not the Bill of Rights. What were they writing?
What kind of country have you given us? A republic?
If you can given us a republic, madam, if you can keep it. He said that to a lady. So, yeah. So he's protecting our rights. Mega extremists, which reminds me of that mega extremist. Here's a few things I got from MTGs. What extreme mega Republican policies are: extremely secure borders, extremely low crime, extremely good education for kids, extremely good economy, extremely strong dollar, extremely American first energy and extremely low energy prices, extremely low foreign aid, as in none, extremely affordable food and cost of living, extremely pushing for world peace with an extremely strong military, extremely protecting biological girls and women's rights, including women's sports and Title IX, extremely protecting America's rights, freedoms such as freedom of speech, and what this show is about, 2A. All right. Yeah. So, there's a few more here. MTG, love this gal. Extremely draining the swamp, which is absolutely needed. Extremely destroying the deep state and extremely opposing global. What the hell right there, Clayton, does Biden think is destroying your freedoms?
Well, he thinks that we are because we want them, because we know we have them, and he wants to stop it. You got to remember
what I just said. Joe Biden's the opposite of everything I just said there.
Absolutely.
The complete opposite of everything MTG. I didn't say it MTG did. I think MTG is awesome. If you don't like MTG, I don't know what to say. You
take people like Biden and the people that are with him. I mean, look who he chose as his campaign manager. I mean, the guy was he claimed that he was, this is his granddaughter now, but I bet you she shares the same ideology as her grandfather did. He, in the 50s and 60s, he was working for farmers' rights. Well, it really wasn't that. He unionized the farmers, especially around California, through New Mexico, Arizona. But they muscled everybody they could, and when they didn't, they made damn sure they went and either eliminated them, or you might have even found yourself buried in the desert. That's the kind of person that he idolizes. He has a bust of him behind him in the Oval Office, and now he hired the granddaughter. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But
so Clay, banning books. They're not banning books. They're banning books where children, and I mean real children under 18, don't have access to see this perverted. Do you want to look at perverted books and whatever kind of sexual? I couldn't care less, but you're not going to put it in libraries for freaking kids to see. You're not. They're purposely perverting these little kids. That's bullshit. I don't care. When you're adult, you can look at any sick sexual stuff you want, whatever. I couldn't care less, right?
Right. Do what you want.
I'm going to go telling people who they can and can't love. When the hell did Trump or anybody tell people who they can and can't? So what they're trying to say this is not just like Ron DeSantis. He's an extremist. Him and Trump, they don't want kids being taught about people who don't know what their sexual orientation is because they're confused. And okay, that's not telling you who you can love at all. That's saying don't talk to kids about this shit when they're in grade school.
I want to address this. We're not saying anything about telling you who you can love.
Right.
Go love yourself, as far as I'm concerned. But do it in the privacy of your own home. I don't care what you do in your home. I think you're wrong. I think you're deluded. I think you're mentally deranged if you're gay and a lesbian. I'll say it. I don't care. You have a mental illness. If you think that you're a man, but you're a girl, or if you're a girl and you think that you're a man, you have a mental illness. Get help. You need to seek help because you have a problem. There's no such thing as
I mean, I think you're not wired right if you think that way. That's me. I'm not saying I'm not saying you need to be thrown anywhere. I just don't think
get
you're
some
right.
help. And as far as this goes, it's when they tried to force everybody to accept gay marriage. Why? Marriage was created in the church.
Because
does anyone realize that marriage was created in the church? If
well, they don't
have a civil union.
They're non-believers, Clay. That's why they don't believe in marriage in the church. I can tell you that.
Well, they do though. They wanted to sue churches and make us do it because they
but that doesn't mean they believe in churches. They're forced. But here's what gets me. They say you're intolerant of their beliefs, right? You're intolerant. they're intolerant of ours. They're intolerant of your beliefs, my beliefs.
Absolutely.
It's bullshit. Like a typical Democrat, it's a one-way street.
I get told all the time, well, you hate them people. I don't hate them.
No.
I really have empathy for them.
I hate their freaking ideology. Most of them are Democrats, not all, but most. I hate that ideology, just,
Well, I'm worried more about their soul. And that's why, as a Christian, that's what happens. I can tell you right now, them people, unless they repent for that, they got some issues. I mean, I don't judge them. I'm not the one.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They don't believe in that, so that's why
they don't.
Care
but to me, them are the people we pray for. It's just kind of like when you have that person come into church and he's a stranger and he don't look like he's got much. You know what? You should embrace that.
I'm
person.
sorry, I'm laughing at a comment
that
my mom.
Oh yeah, and she's right. And they started, guys. It used to be just gay lesbians and gays. Now it's everything. Rush actually pointed to that years ago and said it's not going to stop there. We hit
just
on
like SUVs and shit.
Just like SUVs, they don't stop there. They don't want you driving gas cars, and basically they just doubled down. Biden did on this electric thing, and I thought that article I just read in Wyoming was great. The guy had an electric pickup, and it said it could go so many miles, and then he broke down. He was out of juice between Rock River, between Riverton and Rock Springs, I think it was. I thought.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the next one here, Clay.
Go for it.
I'll go.
We're getting off track.
Making it okay. I like tying these in with Second Amendment shit. Making it more difficult to vote, which what they're bitching about is having an ID to vote, right, Clayton? Absolutely. They sure as hell don't have one goddamn problem with you having to show your ID. You need to show an ID and test background check and make sure you do all this and that. We got to go on social media and check all that bullshit to buy a gun. But if you want them to show an ID to freaking vote,
no, you know why?
That is, oh my God, you are against civil rights. You are a Nazi piece of crap. But you try and compare to these people, and they can't, in their brain, they can't differentiate.
Well, I mean, unlike the people they accuse us of being, they are some of the most intolerant, no matter what the subject is.
That's what Rush said. If you're whatever the anti-Trumpers or the leftists are accusing you of, they're already doing it and they've been doing it. So.
Yep, and they really are. They are the most intolerant people.
So Biden also says the battle ahead is more or less freedom, more rights or less rights. Right, but he was making himself sound like he was the guy who was going to give you more freedom and rights, and Trump or whoever, DeSantis, whoever is going to take them away. We've made the point here easily before that Trump actually expanded your freedoms and civil rights.
We never had more freedom, more economic wealth, more. I mean, we had everything. Everything was better. Everybody was doing better, all up and down. I mean, we never saw more prosperity in the country, pre-2020 than we did under the 2 years that Trump actually implemented his policies as he said he would. If we could have kept that engine roaring, I think you'd have saw Second Amendment take off. I think you would have saw things like the constitutional carry passed on a federal level. You might have seen the Hearing Protection Act finally go through. I mean, we would have saw strides take place across the board, up and down for rights, especially Second Amendment. But they stole the election, and now we have what we got.
You're right. Leon's comment doesn't mean we have to participate in their delusion. Exactly.
That's right. And
exactly. Have your own delusion. I'm not part of it. I'm not trying to make you extinct or some other bullshit that you guys are always talking about. I just don't, do your thing. I'll do mine. Don't get in my face and try and change the foundation and fabric of this country because you're freaking twisted and you don't like it.
Like I said, they do what you want in your own home. But like I always get into this with these people because they want you to believe and they want the justification from you, which I'm never going to get from me. But I always tell them, you believe in evolution, don't you? Oh, yeah. They always believe in that. Well, then by evolution, that fake theory, you're going to be extinct because you can't produce.
Well, there shouldn't be any monkeys left then because we came from monkeys.
Supposedly.
All right, Clay, one more before we move on.
Yep.
Honesty and respect for each other. This is one of the biggest crock of crap. The guy sits there and calls you insurrection. He lies about you. If you like Trump, you're an insurrectionist. You're a Nazi. You're a freaking racist. You hate freedoms. You hate America. Hey, Joe, and you threaten to take people's guns away on damn near daily basis. What a way to get along with the other side, right? What a way to come together. Threaten to freaking take people's rights away, right?
Yeah, and that's all they do all the time, every day. I mean, he's out there every day pretty much.
What? Yeah, sounds like something I want to. The guys, this country's never been more divided, and since that freaking Crypt Keeper got in there, it's gotten twice as bad.
Yeah, I've never, I thought it was bad under Obama. Then Trump came along and really
That's when it started.
United things again, but there was still a division. But it started under Obama, and now it's went into hyper gear. It's amazing how divided this country is.
Yeah. You guys just didn't like what I had to say because, you know why? I'm going to say it.
Yeah. What was his slogan? I don't even remember. Some dumbass slogan too.
We are who we've been waiting for. Some goofy shit like that. Anyways, all right, Clay. Should we do the bullet points here, and then we're gonna hit the happy?
Let's do let's do at least one more ad here, and then we'll get ready.
I was gonna hit it. All right, let's do it. All right, we'll do the old our main sponsor right here, Lauer Auto Repair, a great American. They're actually heading to DeSantisville tomorrow. So,
really? Going down to Florida?
Yeah, hang on. The 701 is proud to be sponsored by Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. If you can't stop by, feel free to give them a call at 701-258-6308. Doug and the guys are ardent Second Amendment supporters and will always shoot straight with service and fair pricing. It's been a long winter with lots of snow, ice, and rough roads. So now's the time to get that alignment checked from the curb shots, potholes, and bumpy snow-covered roads. Summer will be here before you know it, so get that rig scheduled for an AC charge. Make sure and tell the guys at Lauer you heard the sponsored guns in the 701 and thank them for supporting and promoting our Second Amendment civil right. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6308. Your North Dakota proud, patriotic auto repair service.
All right. Yeah. Heck yeah. And have fun in Florida, Doug. I think you're going to love it down there.
Yeah. Oh, he's been down there many times. So
where's he going this time, did he say?
Lynette's his wife's son's daughter and son's place. But yeah, he's got that one. He's got that big boar hog he shot down there with him and Leon and I standing underneath it with the guns drawn there, putting it under his chin and whatnot.
That's why I asked.
Leon likes that. Yeah.
I got Leon,
you got to let me know if you're coming into town tomorrow night or tomorrow or Friday, man. We're hooking up. Let me know. We're going on we're having some freaking drinks and we're going to solve everything. Believe it.
Like I said, I got some contacts down. That's where we go hog hunt. In fact, our hog hunt's coming up here in January. We'll be down there January 2024 with Rack's Adventure. So, yeah, I mean, I might have to talk next trip he makes. We might have to get him hooked up with my buddy down there and get on another big hog. Yeah.
All right, Clay. So, absolutely, Leon. 2A7. Hey, I'm wearing your hat right here, buddy. Freaking awesome. So, the Tree of Liberty, it does, Keith. It needs to be watered. Wait, what did Biden say? Well, my mega friends on the right who think it needs to be watered. We got F-16s or F-15s, right? That's what he's always saying.
Yeah, he forgets. Well, that's probably what they did have when he could remember anything.
Yeah. What would you say, Clay? You don't even think they're in service anymore, right? F-15s?
I don't. I think we've sold most of them. They're either out there in the airplane. They got that big place out in the desert where it's down
in Arizona. All right. Leon's be here Friday. Awesome, man. Looking forward to hanging out with you, brother.
Friday, huh?
Yep. Just get a hold of me. So, all right, Clayton, you want to hit your first bullet point, or you want me to hit it? Yeah. All right. Go ahead and start out.
Oh, okay. Leon says here, he goes, the Second Amendment wasn't, isn't, nor will it ever be about hunting. Absolutely right. It's not about hunting. It was always about the inevitable confrontation with the bastards that they say things like our nation's children are all our children.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Perfect. The Second Amendment's intent was to be the end-all, end-all.
Yeah, who was it?
To defend ourselves
children are our children. Which one of them turds said that?
Well,
that was just the other day.
Remember you had that worthless Hillary Clinton. She was like, "Oh, it takes a village." No, it don't. It don't take a village to raise my kids. You freaking commie.
There you go, Corey Merriman going to take his first long-range shooting clinic at the end of May. Yeah. Awesome, man.
Hey, Corey, I don't know if you found a case, but to answer your question, I have one if you need one. So just let me know.
All right, Clayton, you want to go first? You want me to hit it?
Go for it. You hit it first.
All right, so I got a couple of them. If we get to them, we don't. But the first one I'm going to get to, you heard of Bursa, right, Clay? The Bursa Thunder.
yeah.
And we've had them at NRA banquets before back in the day. And so Argentine firearm manufacturer Bursa, I don't know if a lot of people know they're manufactured in Argentina, known for its Thunder handguns, increased its commitment to the American market when it opened a 45,500 square foot manufacturing facility in Kennesaw, Georgia, which I believe Kennesaw is a city that's says everybody's got to have a gun in their house, right? Kennesaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that them that did that?
Yeah, I think so. In October
Right.
2020. So, U.S. Marketing Director Rafael Del Valle, which I've heard this guy on Armed American Radio before. He's a cool dude. This guy sounds awesome. He sounds like a fun guy to hang out with, actually. Sounds like a younger guy. But all new models Bursa introduces going forward will be made in Kennesaw, Georgia. Currently, the factory produces several AR rifles, which I did not know.
Didn't know that.
And pistols chambered in both 5.56 and 300 blackout, as well as several 9mm lung blower chambered AR pistols. DeValle said, we can bring new products to market faster, and we can make guns that we couldn't otherwise import from Argentina, which I think we talked about that import thing on Mitchell's show Friday, right?
We did.
We will also be able to export product throughout the globe much more easily than it can be from Argentina. So that's awesome, man. Argentina's, man, they've had some decent pro-gun presidents, but man, I think they got a bad one in there now, and they did like a gun confiscation thing, and I'm glad Bursa's coming up here. I have shot a few Bursa Thunders. They're pretty sweet little pistols, actually. So
no, they make a good product. They do.
Yeah. So anytime anybody's coming up here to make guns, I love it. The more gun manufacturers here, the better.
Come on.
Oh, God, I can't believe he said that. I did. I love it. I want, if you're a gun manufacturer, get your ass up here to North Dakota, get it done, man.
Absolutely.
All right, Clay, what you got?
Well, so you guys all remember Mr. Rittenhouse, right, Kyle?
Yeah, great American hero.
Great American hero who used his modern sporting rifle to defend himself.
His three shots are more effective than Fauci's.
I love that. We got to make that meme, don't we? Anyway, so this come from the Blaze, and of course, this took place August 25th in 2020. If you all remember, it was in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He had to actually use his firearm to defend himself, and I do believe that if he wouldn't have done that, he probably would have been dead.
They'd have beat his ass to death for sure. Oh, they just shot him. The one guy pulled his gun out with his Glock.
And that's why he shot him. And so he basically, you got to love what he's doing. He's kind of tired of this crap is basically what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right. So he actually here back in March, I believe, let me find the date. Or no, this was here in April. So about the middle of April, he launched a countersuit against Rosenkreutz for the assault. Because they actually filed one on him.
Some other bullshit. God,
I know. And,
throw it out of the freaking court. It's bullshit, man.
And he's going to go for him for assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and neglect for infliction of emotional distress. So he filed a countersuit. And I just saw that he was on the War Room, actually, with Steve Bannon talking about this. And that was fantastic.
Oh, my mom's favorite.
This kid, I'm telling you guys, he's got it together. He was 17
he does.
when
He's
this
awesome.
happened. So that's about 3 years ago. So, he's in his 20 now, 19, 20 years old. And I tell you what, he's very articulate. He's learned a lot. He's grown up a lot in these last 3 years, because he had to. So he basically is filing a countersuit. You can go and help him out at Give, Send, Go, because, these cases take money. These are civil cases. And there's absolutely no guarantees anything's going to happen. So, he's like you said, go to my Give, Send, Go and look him up, and hopefully he will absolutely get enough money to put these people in this place.
Yeah.
Here's why this is important. It will maybe, at least out there, put a stop in that county of a frivolous lawsuit of them coming after him. It's like, come on. You attacked Kyle Rittenhouse. You did all these things to him, and now you're suing him for money? Are you kidding?
I'll tell you what, Clay, common sense will tell you, if you don't want your bicep vaporized, don't pull your pistol on somebody first.
That's right.
With the guys laying there with an AR, don't pull your pistol on them.
Exactly.
Common sense will tell you that, Gage.
Yeah, and I was going through this story. They had actually video testimony from when the court case took place, and that guy actually admitted that he pulled his gun on him.
Yeah.
And he admitted to pointing at him.
That's
So how
what I'm
the hell
saying.
can he sue him?
That's what I'm saying. Throw it out, Judge. Throw it out. This is freaking ridiculous. The guy incriminated the shit out of himself already.
Absolutely. So
for God's sake, yeah, put some of these comments up here, Leon. I'm damn right they were trying to kill him. You damn right they were, Leon. 100% they were.
So that was my 2A bullet point. I thought it was a great lead in. I saw Rittenhouse on TV here the other day on Real America's Voice, and I thought, he's talking about it, and you know what? Good for him.
He's awesome, man. I love that guy.
Absolutely support him. I'm glad we got kids like that out there.
Yeah.
Honestly. There, we got kids like that.
We got so we got another comment, Leon. In my opinion, you should have made more pedo shit stay.
What's that? Did I miss that one?
It's right on the bottom of the screen. Leon, I agree with you 100%. It says in my opinion, you should have made more pedo. Because remember, the one guy was a freaking pedophile.
That's right. There it is.
Pedophile.
I got it. Hey, Brian, you're right. Maybe he's a future NRA president.
Yeah, I love that. He should be. Hell yeah. Keep it going, man.
Kyle's going to be a rich man.
He's actually a rich man already. What'd CNN have to pay him, like $130 million or something?
Something like that, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Team Cox. Good for Rittenhouse. Those mostly violent, peaceful protesters need to go. Yeah. How come those were peaceful protests?
They're always like that. I was here in Bismarck.
The actual peaceful protest on January 6th was an insurrection.
Yeah. Well, they insurrected in Tennessee, too, and they bull rushed the state house there.
You know, you might be right, Lynette.
He is. He's going to Arizona State, I think, to be an attorney, actually.
Oh, he's going to be a good one. He's got lots of experience.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But that's the main one I had tonight. That's basically all I had.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
The printer gave me fits, so I said to hell with it.
All right. You know what we're going to do right now, Clay.
Oh, it's got to be the happy ending.
Yeah, baby. Here we go. Hang on there. If you're new to the show, that's a happy ending music. So, and you're like, happy ending? What kind of porn thing did I click into here? Yeah, Keith, before I go on, damn right they did, Keith. They were all over in there hanging around like a freaking bats in the rafters in that place, screaming and hollering, going ape shit on this.
I missed this. This is news to me.
Oh, yeah, because they booted out this transgender who got elected. I don't know what district or where from Montana, but then, I'll give them one thing, man. Democrats can freaking rally the troops and get a gob of mobsters together like nobody else. And they were all over in there, and they booted her out. She can still vote remotely, but she's no longer allowed, I think, in this session in the legislature. So yeah. Oh yeah, they were going freaking nuts in there.
See what I missed when I'm busy working on equipment? I was listening to Daryl's show and I didn't hear nothing about it.
All right. So hey, last week we were in Tejas for the happy ending. We're going back, baby. All right. Hey, Leon, what color? You want both colors? I got red. You saw the orange one, right? And it's a little brighter orange now. Clay's got we got the red right there. Right there. Clay's got him right there, and we got the tall boy. So if you want all three, it's on Clay and I because you hooked us up with some sweet 2A701 schwags. You let me know what you want, brother, and I'll have it for you. So. Including the stickers. So anyway, going to Tejas again for the happy ending story. A good Samaritan with a gun stepped in to help a man who was being pistol whipped by a suspected robber in Southwest Houston. I don't know how are you suspected when you're pistol whipping somebody? Right? I should have blocked it out with my pen because I usually do, and I'm like suspected. Yeah. Oh well. So the incident occurred at Chase Bank on Westmeyer Road when the victim pulled into the bank to withdraw money from the ATM. The armed suspect ambushed and demanded money from the victim. The victim began to comply until the suspect began pistol whipping him. That's when a passerby saw the crime happening and pulled out a gun to defend the now injured victim. Several shots were fired. And the good guy with a gun, absolutely, he shot the suspect in the leg and the hoof. The suspect was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Investigators interviewed the victim and passerby who were not harmed during the incident. The suspect, here's the kicker, Clayton. The suspect was identified. You might have sent me this. The suspect was identified as a wanted murder suspect out of Louisiana. The incident. Go Tigers. Got you there, Leon. The incident highlights the importance of being aware of your surroundings and taking steps to protect yourself as well as staying strapped at all times. I added that last part.
Absolutely, though. Yeah, I did send you that one.
Yeah.
Leon says tall boy, and then he says, don't test. He says, do not question the testosterone, brother.
I do not ever test
I'll never
question that
keep
on you,
tranny
man.
juice cool. Oh,
man, I've been laughing all show. This is a great show for me. I had a great time. This is awesome, man.
Some great chats tonight. So that was a happy ending. See, we just want to prove too that not all of our happy ending segments end with the guy being killed. Think about it. This guy was wanted for murder. He was injured pretty good. Everything came out all right. Now he's going to jail.
Yeah.
And he probably, find his roommate Bubba, and then he'll make him a woman. Maybe there you go.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a transgender in there. So, so in my opinion, Clay, he's already pistol whipping this guy. He's probably gonna kill him anyways, and he got his money. Now you see me, I got to do it, man. I got to take him out. So,
yep.
All right, so we wanna hit on what we're Todd Mitchell show.
Go for it.
All right, I got it set up for Friday. Every Friday, Clay and I, KFYR 5:50 a.m., 7:40 a.m. Mountain, 8:40 a.m. Central Time.
Right there.
Right there on Mitchell.
Got to put up there.
Todd said I can use that picture too. He doesn't care. So
I look like I just come off of a bender there.
Yeah. We're on there till we're about 20-minute segment. We're on there. And if you never heard it before, it's kind of like the show, but we're on the radio. Thank you, Kevin. So the first thing we're going to hit on, we got Congressman Jason Crow, former Army Ranger, massive anti-gunner in Colorado.
Yeah.
Reintroduced the Firearms Retailer Code of Conduct Act. And like I said, Clay, if you don't know about this, I'm going to send it to you. This thing is absolutely freaking ridiculous. This is unbelievable to me. If this thing passes, and there's going to be trouble for sure. And then from that, we're going to head on down to park officials tracked down and euthanized a black bear in Canada's Jasper National Park after it killed a hiker's off-leash dog. I'll just give you a little teaser on this. The guy tried to stop the bear, and his method of using obviously didn't work, Clayton. Your method, my method,
ours works a little better.
But you'll have to tune in Friday, 8:40 a.m. Central Time, Mitchell in the morning to get the whole story on that. And finally, we're going to hit the third topic we're hitting on Todd's show, a poll conducted by Monmouth University here on March 16th through the 20th of this year, 2023, finds that more Americans oppose an leftist and assault weapons ban than support implementing one. And if you want to
imagine that.
Yeah. If you want to know the percentages on that, like I just said, you're going to have to join Clayton and I at 8:40 a.m. Central Time on Mitchell in the morning, KFWare 550, the voice of the Northern Plains, baby.
And
so, Clayton.
You can catch everything on the iHeart app.
Yeah.
Every day. Just hit iHeart, go to Guns of the 701, and generally I have everything uploaded up there.
Not only that, Clay's got her dialed in. He uses our restream thing here, and he actually live streams it to YouTube and to our Facebook page. So if you want to watch it live, by all means, do it.
I'm not so sure. I think I had it on Twitter. We're actually broadcasting to Twitter tonight.
I see that. Yep.
If you guys want to check out Twitter, go for it. We're there.
Follow us on Twitter, anyways, because if we get our ass booted off here someday, which some of the shit we say, I hope we don't, my man. But
Leon says Todd looks like he's just seen Mulvaney for the first time in time. We have to tell Todd that on Friday.
Oh,
that'll be good.
Yeah, Todd will get a kick out of that one.
And hey, Doug, Leon needs an oil change, so there you go.
Leon must have missed it. Doug's going to be down in DeSantisville, Leon.
Set it up for him, then he can still stop.
Yeah, get it next time you come into town for sure. I think Leon just angled for more of that deer sausage Doug he's got. And some good stuff with the cheese.
And I think we got one thing coming up here, and this will be on Monday. In the crosshairs, we're talking about doing that one where the antler dealer busted. I believe out in Wyoming. I don't.
Yeah, he was stashing them. He was burying antlers. Yeah. So not only that, Clay, I was gonna almost use this as one of my bullet points, but it's getting bigger. This Governor Jay Inslee, our buddy Travis didn't join us tonight, but Jay Inslee in Washington, they passed an assault weapons ban. This thing's asinine. Clay and I talked about it. It passed. I mean, it's in there now. But hey, good news is Second Amendment Foundation, NRA, they're suing these guys, but this is crazy. I mean, we're going to talk about that for sure on Jay Show Monday. That's in the crosshairs, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's on KFYRplus.com, KFYR TV's live streaming service. We're on there, what, Clay? 30 minutes, 12:30?
About 30 minutes, yeah. And it's getting to be a solid 30 if we can ever get that Zoom. We have to use Zoom on there. So I can tell you one thing.
Struggles with the Zoom there.
It's bad down here, and I don't know what it is, if it's something in my computer. I don't use Google, and I don't use a lot of these other things because I use other things that don't track me. And I think that's the problem. I found out I had to actually lower my shields, or my shield, what they call on Brave, and then it opened things up. But it's still something on their end. There's some setting happening on their end.
Something's trying to track you or something. So.
I wish the hell they'd use something like this, or let us invite him on a link, and then we'd be set. But oh well.
Hey, Leon, we need an IT guy. You know what we need an IT guy for? Is to set up our goddamn product page on our website, because nobody can tell us how to freaking sell stuff. On guy? Yeah. Leon, if you know how, man, and you're here, we'll freaking pay you to do it, man.
VPN, you're right, guys. And I've actually used one of those, a virtual private network. I actually have one of my own. But them guys, I don't know what it is with them, but they're sure hooked on the I don't know, the easy shit, I guess you could call it, like Zoom. What do you say? It's free. And I get it, but I'm telling you right now.
But what did you say at the NRA told you about free shit?
Yeah, if it's free, it ain't worth having. Yeah.
I mean, most things aren't. Some things are, but yeah, it's.
Usually, if you pay for something, then it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, thanks, Waylon. Appreciate it, man. Tell your wife thanks again.
Well,
hey, Leon may know a guy. Let's talk it over Friday, brother. Clayton and I mean, we're friends, and we don't expect nothing comp. We'll pay you. No, we'll compensate you, man. We just want this product page up, because the way we're doing it now is text me, and then I'll send you this, and then you say this. It's a pain in the ass. We need our product page up, man.
It's not personal. It's business.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For sure. Thanks, Brian.
I do believe that we pretty much going to wrap this up. We kept it about an hour 20, and we're trying to do that. I know it's getting nicer out. I'm noticing that in the numbers, but I noticed that the download numbers afterwards are going up. So I suppose people are out and about, and then they download it later. So that's great.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing. We've shared our analytics with KFYR Plus, and then with Todd on KFY. Todd actually last Friday said he would like to have us on for an hour, which Clay and I we're on board with, man. Let's freaking do it. I love it. Because Clay, me and you can do an hour with commercials, like
pretty easy.
That's a light snack, baby. I'll promise.
I mean, this all started with us subbing for Steve over there at 12.
We're coming up on a year on that. Hey, we're gonna have to have a 1 year anniversary of that when we.
And you know, we were doing 2 hours over there, and it just went so fast, and we had a lot of fun, and that's how this started. So here we are. I hope
this is a lot funner. I mean, I like going on the radio. Honestly, radios, I mean, that works awesome. We're getting the message out, and it's fun, and the live stream thing. But this is my funnest thing to do, because I can say bullshit. And
we can do what we want here. We're not.
Yeah. Hey, Waylon, that's awesome. Yeah, your wife does great work, man. I hope we get some business her way, because we're totally satisfied. These are great freaking koozies, good quality. Good printing on there. It's awesome.
Sean, thank you for tuning in, because this show doesn't go without listeners, and we got a pretty good following anymore.
Thank you.
We're happy to have it. So
we're picking them up all the time.
Kevin, Travis is a no-show tonight. Yeah, what the heck?
Maybe he's burying his gun somewhere. Old Inslee's got him running scared.
Could be. Oh, and I got to put this up from Leland. If it's free, it'll backdoor you like Mulvaney. I had to read that for our podcast. Guys.
What's he got up there too? Don't get Jamie riled up.
Don't get Jamie riled up. 4 hours easy. I can tell you right now, we've had some of these shows go close to 2 hours, and I know Corey keeps saying 2 hour show, but we'd like to keep it at about that hour and a half. So
yeah.
And I can tell you right now, we're working on. We want to have Leon on. I know we want to have Leon on, so we're going to try to have some shows here. I think we've got it kind of figured out. We're going to have some guests. So Leon's on the docket. I know we're going to have Marty on.
Yeah, we're going to. I'll tell you what, Clay, I was thinking about that. Man, we could go 4 hours, but I'll tell you what, we have Marty on, because Marty that guy's ultra smart, and he's super awesome at history. I actually want to have Marty on when we do our Crazy Horse Midwest Badass.
There we go. And guys, I think we'll see what comes up. We talked about starting it back up in May.
Yeah.
So that'd be next week. And I think we probably could, because I had
Yeah.
that all ready to go.
It's going to be in May sometime. And Clay, I'll tell you this right now. I don't know if I told you, but May 20th, it's going to be that's 2A day.
Oh,
I mean, it's select invite only. I'm sorry we can't we can't get overrun, but May 20th is going to be 2A day. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to talk over with Leon. Hopefully, Leon, I'm going to tell you where it's going to be at. And I know you can make this one, brother. It's not going to be at my dad's ranch way out in western North Dakota. So,
all right.
We're going to talk about it.
Schedule here, bud.
Yeah, pencil it in. At noon, starting at noon. I
might stay over that night.
Yeah, by all means. My wife's going to come get us from that one because we ain't driving anywhere.
I can pull my camper.
Or we stay at Dougie's. Yeah, Dougie said,
there we go.
Bring that camper up. He's got room for you. So
maybe I'll
May 20th, Leon. That's right. 2A day, baby. We got room for you.
You and I talk off air here, but I got an idea that we might have another guest, but I'll tell you how it all happened.
So anybody's wondering what 2A day is, it's going to be 22, 17 caliber all the way up to 50 cal. It's going to be a bonanza of freedom and tannerite and blowing up watermelons and jugs. And
it's going to 50 cal.
Right on cue. I love that right there. Yeah.
Snowman's exploding.
Man. Yeah. Snowman, man. I'm glad that shit's gone. But yeah, baby, right there. P-dogging. Hey, Dougie and I are in a prairie dog contest in June too. So there you go, Clay. I like that 30 cal.
Well, I think I know we got permission so that I could actually maybe come along and do some filming. Maybe do some lives from
100%.
We got service, so I'm planning on it.
I know there's service at the minimum. There's service at the headquarters because I've seen them live when they do the drum for the gun raffle. So.
Okay.
All right, Clayton.
That was what? June what? I don't remember.
First Saturday in June.
The 3rd, right?
Is the 3rd or the 10th? What's the 10th? Is that the 10th?
That's the second Saturday.
That's when it is.
All right. So anyway, we got that ready to rock and roll. So
Leon. Oh man, that guy cracks me up. I love
just
it.
Cheated on my wife. As long as you only put the tip in. Anyway.
Just the FMJ tip. That's all.
Anyway, we're
Juneteenth.
I thought he said
Juneteenth.
June 10th.
Okay,
yes.
my bad.
We don't celebrate Juneteenth.
Oh, man, it's official. It's official.
All right. All righty, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in and listening to some of our BS and some fun. And hopefully you got a little information tonight. Again, remember, we're going to be coming Friday on KFYR, 5:50 a.m. That's the radio station. Mitchell in the morning, 7:40 Mountain, 8:40 Central. Tune in. We got another great show coming up with Todd. And then, of course, Monday, we're going to be in the crosshairs on KFYR TV. Plus, that's their streaming services. Go to KFYRTV.com. Look for the live stream and hit on that. And I know we're going to go over poll results. We got a couple other subjects we're going to discuss, I think, on there as well. We'll let you kind of know what's going on with that.
We're getting better, man.
Yeah, it's turning into being a lot of fun there. And it went from being a 10 or 15 minutes to now we're a solid 30 now.
In the modern saying, that escalated quickly.
It did.
And I hope it keeps escalating, man. It's fun. I love it. Jay's awesome. Todd's awesome. I have fun with both of them guys.
I do my best to broadcast that live through our restream, both them shows. So just tune in to either where you're listening now, or you can actually tune into either the station or the streaming service. So,
all right, Clayton.
All right, guys. Well, with that, I think we're going to call this a show and call it a wrap. And remember, guys, what do I always say?
Until Friday, keep your powder dry.
See you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys. Appreciate you.